In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 signs you should keep trying with him, and I'm going to help you understand whether you're wasting your time or not, whether you should move on or not, and whether you're leaving other opportunities off the table because you're staying attached to something that's not actually serving your energy. Now, the very first thing I want to share with this is I want to look at the title itself of this video, which has to do with signs you should keep trying with him. Now, the first thing I want to share, probably one of the most powerful energy dynamics to become aware of, is that if we are implying we are trying to make something work, then a lot of times that means we're infusing resistance into the process. Because anytime we have to try to do something, it means we're not just doing it or being it. We're not in the moment. We're trying also to probably get some type of result that may seem more optimal, but in general, the energy dynamic at play when we're trying to make something work is a lot of resistance. So what I would encourage you to do as the first sign on this whole entire video is to actually not try. To not try doesn't mean you have to completely give up, but it means that instead of trying, you look at within yourself, maybe the different aspects of resistance that might be there. And you use this in a way as a permission slip to become aware of what energies are active that's infusing resistance into the process. So with it, that's one of the first things, and also realizing the energy dynamic that anytime we put someone on a pedestal, we create resistance. If we believe and we're really trying to force something to work, there's a story that's in there that is causing us to energetically separate ourselves from the natural ebb and flow of a relationship. Now remember this is something I always have to remind myself, is there's many things in life that are very hard to control. As I look out right now, there's a lot of wind. You know, if you try to control the wind, you're gonna have some issues. However, with that as well, you know, there's certain aspects of myself where I know I can control different aspects of my business and and there's some things that are uncontrollable. But in general, the one thing I've learned that you just can't control is relationships. So trying to make things work implies a lack of awareness that things flow, that things, when you let go of attachment, a lot of times things work themselves out. And letting go of attachment means stop trying and more so focus on being. More so also focus on a level of acceptance. Because if we don't accept, what ends up happening is we remain attached to this vision in our mind of the way someone should be and the way they aren't, and that kind of holds them in place. And when that holds them in place, it's like hard to change. Have you ever had it in your life where maybe you want to change, but so there's people in your life that have this vision of you that keeps you in those old patterns, kind of? Like, not that they're to blame for it, but in a way it's like, okay, I'm going to start doing this new thing. Like maybe you're like, I'm going to go and start have the courage to put myself out there more. And then you go to put yourself out there more, and then some of your friends are like, what are you doing? Why are you being this way? And then you start feeling like there's something wrong with you, but it's because they're holding you, their image of you in place, and it's almost like you feel shame or like you're doing something wrong for stepping out of that. Well, in a similar way in relationships, I think something that happens is somebody wants somebody to change. Somebody wants something different. And they may voice that, but they may also keep that person in their mind. The story is this person is this way. You know, I've had it in times of my relationship where my intention is to become, more emotionally vulnerable, more emotionally available, express more emotion. And I can tell that sometimes there's almost a pattern that have been in place to where it's like almost expected that I'm not going to get that deep or go to that level. So, not that, once again though, it's not about blaming and saying, oh, this is someone else's fault or anything like that, but really being aware that what we can do in the process is also change our perception, our self-image of somebody else in a way. And that's also like a process of Ho'oponopono. If you've ever heard of Ho'oponopono, it's a very powerful process. I'll link it below. I have a meditation on it, and it's just 4 simple statements. It's, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And as we forgive somebody else, as we also send them love, we heal the energy cords between us. In a way, it's a way of like reducing karma as well. But doing that will cleanse your own energy field and also help you connect to other people in a deeper way with that kind of energy like healed. So the first thing is become aware of what also maybe you're fighting for. Sometimes we're fighting, we're trying. What are you really trying to get? The reason I say this is because sometimes in relationships, what we really want is we think we want the love and we want different levels of intimacy, but sometimes what we want is validation, people's approval. And if we want people's validation and approval, we'll be trying to get it, but remember, Alan Watts' backwards law. This is something that's completely changed my life. The more we try to get other people to like us, the less they like us, because the more weird our energy gets. The more we try to control our life, the more out of the control we feel. This works in many different ways. The more you try to not sink, the more you try to not sink in water, the more you sink. The more you relax, the more you just naturally float. Is that interesting? It reminds me of in Harry Potter. How many of you Harry Potter fans out there, huh? Like me. But there's a part in the first Harry Potter movie where they fall in this little chamber of secrets thing onto this bed of these certain type of plants that the more you fight, the more it constricts and strangles you. The more you just relax, the more you just fall through it and land safely on a cushion. And the more you're free. So in a similar way in relationships, it can be very similar. The more we try, the more we fight, the more resistance we create, and the more problems. So first off, I just want to say that. Now, the second sign that you should keep trying, but we've already shown that like maybe we're not trying, maybe we're just more so going with the flow, is very important. And that is somebody willing? Is the person willing to look at themselves? Because that makes a big difference. There are some people that are like narcissists or different type of energy patterns that they don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to look at themselves. You might be with somebody that drinks a lot of alcohol, and you're like, listen, like this alcohol is like maybe ruining your life and it's ruining our relationship. And it may be that they don't want to look at that they're in denial of it. And if they're not willing to look at it, that may be a sign that you shouldn't keep trying, because everyone's on their own path. I have one of my best friends growing up. He has been like overweight his whole life, and I remember every year he was talking about how January 1st is coming up. I'm going to lose that weight. I'm going to lose that weight. I'm going to lose that weight. But then what would happen is every time January 1st came around, it was like we would like incentivize him, like, okay, dude, come with us to the gym. Come with us to the gym. It'll be so much fun. Blah blah blah. We'll help you. We'll do this. We'll do that. He never wanted it because he has to want it for himself. So if we just kept trying, we'd be depleted on our energy. But a sign that you can actually not keep trying, but intending, or whatever word we want to use, is this person willing to change? Do they want to, not even to change, but to look at themselves? Because sometimes we fantasize about what somebody could be, and that emphasizes that someone's not good enough. But also, we're not in a relationship with that person as they are. So a big part of the process of this transformation is this person willing to look at themselves? Narcissists, probably not going to look at themselves. Not always, I guess, but a lot of times they are very resistant to looking at themselves. So you end up in this like little trap. And I know many of you watching this might be empaths, so the kind of opposite of that in a way, where you really feel everyone's energy and you're trying to please everybody. So are you willing to look at yourself? Are you willing? And are they willing to look at themselves? So to kind of recap, it's like letting go of trying, letting go of the old self-image of them, and then acknowledging, are they willing to look at themselves? And if they're not willing to look at themselves and they're kind of like lost in their process of like, I am right, this is the way things are, then that's a sign that maybe you're depleting your energy by trying so much. Now, the last thing I wanted to share, it's also very powerful, is in relationship as well, when it comes to this, you probably came to this because there's resistance in your relationship or somebody you're dating. But I will say that one of the things that really changes a lot is when you learn to accept this other person the way that they are. Now, it sounds kind of interesting because on one hand, it's like, I want them to be willing to change, to be a little bit different. But the lack of acceptance itself is an energy that's keeping rigidity. It's keeping things not flowing. When what we really want in relationship is we want to be heard, we want to be seen, we want to be appreciated, and we want to be accepted. So accepting the other person the way they are may also open up a window to where they are able to accept you the way that you are. And that acceptance then allows the energy to move instead of the rigidity of trying to control different aspects of this. So a sign that somebody else is worth putting that energy into is asking yourself, can you accept them and can they accept you? Do they have that within themselves to have that kind of open energy flow? Because acceptance is a very powerful energy for releasing resistance. And when we accept, and we also see that a lot of times in relationship, we're dealing with our own childhood stuff that is unresolved and we're projecting it onto other people. So acceptance is accepting them and seeing them that maybe they are going through this childhood stuff, just like we all are. But are they willing to look at it? And can you accept that in them? Because as you accept it in them, they accept it in you. You see, the interesting thing about these signs of the other person is at the deepest level of a reality, there really is no other person. We are reflections of our own energy. So the resistance we have in somebody else might be the resistance that we have with our dad or our mom. I know I have a friend that she gets triggered when somebody is sloppy, puts like trash on the floor and isn't clean. But that's because her dad was very messy. Her dad was an alcoholic. And anytime her partner does that, she gets triggered. But that's part of the work. So it's almost like a certain level, I could see that maybe accepting his messiness would maybe help him stop being so messy. But also, she could look at it, is he willing to be more clean? It's a funny perspective that these things are, but a lot of times it stems from the childhood stuff. So becoming aware of that really helps us to release these patterns that are keeping us in familiar energies and also causing the resistance in of itself. Now, something that I've done 2 or 3 times a year the last couple of years is something called the 21-day challenge. And I have these 21-day challenges where what we do is we go through a process of releasing these old patterns. We go through a process of becoming more confident, releasing attachment styles that are keeping us in codependent energies, letting go of tuning to other people's frame in order to feel safety. And one of the most powerful things that we can do is go through a group process together. And on July 1st to July 21st, we're going to be going through a 21-day confidence love challenge. So this is for self-love. This is for feeling confidence. Confidence is about trusting ourselves, trusting the universe, releasing fear and judgment that we have, reframing insecurities. There's coaching sessions we're going to be going through. There's group meditations we're going to be doing. It's a 21-day transformational process. It's not like YouTube where you just passively watch videos. There's actually a group with accountability involved. So if you want to completely transform your life, if you want to wire in a more confident you in 21 days or less, then go to confidencelovechallenge.com or click the link below. We're going to be going live. We're going to be going through those processes. If you can't make it live, you can always watch the replays afterwards. We'll be sending those out. But this is something, I've had over 10 or 12,000 people go through my challenges over the last couple of years. Read what's possible. If you've been through my challenges before, go and comment below and let me know what your experience was so other people can see what's possible. And then join at confidencelovechallenge.com. I can't wait. Now's the best time to join as well to get the early bird special. And all you got to do is click the link below. Now, also, if you want to know why when you let go, it smooths out all the energy and it has him come back, this video right here changes everything. Why is it that when you want someone, when you desire them, They feel that energy and it literally repels them away like a magnet. However, the moment you actually let them go, like right now as I do this, these are really strong magnets, by the way.